Testing, testing, one, two, three. I swear to God, if this does not record again, I'm going to crash out. Okay, hi. This is my sensei's SD. I sensei, and today we're just going to do a review or a video recording of the particles PPT, the main particles PPT. This is my fourth time recording this. So if this does not work, I am going to crash out and do this another day. So, let's get started. Why should you learn new languages? Whoa. My voice is gone after doing this for the fourth time. Okay, so, why should you learn new languages? Number one reason is to expand our knowledge. Why? Because we want to learn more about this world. We shouldn't stay complacent with the knowledge we know right now. We should not be ignorant to the world around us. We should learn new languages to open up doors for more knowledge because we cannot know the entire world just by knowing one language. We cannot know it just by knowing Filipino or English or just Japanese or just Indonesian or whatever language you have. You should learn more languages to expand your knowledge. What is the best way to learn a new language? For me, there is no best way. I have my own best ways, but it is a subjective thing. What works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. But there are always three things that you have to remember when learning a new language. Number one, you should always do active immersion. Number two, active recall. And number three, interest. You should always have interest. Number one, active immersion. You should always listen, speak, read, write, do anything with that language. So that way you know when to use certain things in that language. For example, what should you say in this situation when greeting a new stranger? What to do in a funeral or a birthday party? Next is active recall. Number two, you should always review what you learned, especially in the early stages of learning a language. I cannot stress this enough. You should always remember it. I repeated hiragana katakana for months just to not forget most of them. And I'm still bad at katakana because I mostly neglected it. So always do active recall, whether it be a new word, new kanji, whatever it is. Remember what you learned. Memorize it. Not all of them, but most of the things that you need or the things that you will use in conversation. Number three is interest. You will never learn a language if you do not have interest in the language or the culture or the people in that culture. When we are not interested in something, our brain automatically says, "Oh, this this isn't important to me. Why should I remember it?" So it's going to forget what you just learned. So remember that you should always make learning a new language interesting for you at the very least. We're back to the very long cutscene. May your journey be told. Finish loading world. Huzzah! Oh, okay. Now, system. Welcome to a new Sekai. What does Sekai mean? Sekai means world, like the system said earlier. These are just color codings. This thing here, we're gonna go to the so vocabulary words. They're just words, regular words. Particles. They can turn into red at the very end parts of the PPT. So remember that they may turn red, but they're mostly green at the beginning. Markers. These are periods, question marks, or exclamation marks. Those are our markers. Expressions like huh, Those count. Those count as expressions. Now, honorifics. What are honorifics? They are the ones that we use to show respect to the person we're talking about or the person we're talking to. For example, our honorifics or things we use as sign of respect are po and opo. We also have Miss, Mr, stuff like that. Now modifier. These modifies words. They change how words are, makes them into adjectives and stuff like that. But in this PPT, we'll just have to remember they're going to turn something into adjectives. Next. Always remember how to elongate o and e. What I mean by that is how to make the pronunciation longer. What do we add to o to make it longer? So o to o or o something like that. Arigato. It's u. We add u. Now what about e? What do we add to e? It's e. We add. So number one tip to remember that this to remember this part is to remember arigato. Arigato. This looks very incomplete. Why? You forgot the u. The u. You will always have an u because arigato is arigato. Something like that. It will always have a longer pronunciation at the end. It's supposed to have a long pronunciation. Now, number two tip, don't forget to have fun. Make learning fun for yourself. Don't force yourself. Please, I beg of you, do not force yourself if you do not want to, because you will continually hate learning a language or anything if you just force yourself for it. But if it's really needed, use flashcards. That's my number one tip. Now, before we get into this world, remember to use context clues. What are context clues? What's the context of the situation? We're in another world, and we probably just woke up. So, what is this? Oi, okiro. Oi, okiro. Now, what's oi? It's kind of like an expression. You know what oi is? Oi. It can also be hey. Now, what's okiro? Back to the context clues. Where are we in a new world? And we just woke up. So what does okiro mean? It means wake up. Someone's telling us to wake up. Finally, you're awake. Was starting to think you got lost in a dream or something. Onamae wa nan desu ka? Onamae wa nan desu ka? Now, let's break this down. Onamae wa nan desu ka? Nan is just a shortened form of nani. And nani means what? Onamae. Onamae or onamae means name. Now, you can guess what we're asking in this context now, in the sentence. What? What is your name? This is it. Is. Des in this situation is. Now wa. We're gonna explain wa more later. But it basically means, wa is what wa is doing here is redirecting this part of the sentence to here. So what is your name? Now, there's no anata. There's nothing that's saying stuff like that. There's nothing that's referring to you. But we have an honorific. What's all doing in this very corner, in this very side? Aw is an honorific. We basically add aw when asking a name when we just met them. We ask aw when we're talking to someone new or we're talking to a stranger. It's an honorific, a sign of respect. Now, since we added no in this onamai, we're now referring to you. So we're going back to wa. What is wa redirects the is to you. What is your name? Onamai wa nan desu ka? What is your name? Marker ka at the end is used for questions. You see onamai wa nan desu ka over here at the top? Ka. When you see ka at the very end of a sentence, it's usually a question. Even if that question doesn't have a question mark. Because okay, Japanese people don't usually use periods or question marks or exclamation points. They just use things like markers. So here, even without this question mark here, this is still a question. Onamae wa nan desu ka? Now, particle wa is read as wa, not ha. Ha is not a particle. Wa is. Particle wa indicates subjects coming after them or familiar. Now, what does this mean? Now, example 1. Watashi wa yakusei desu. Now, what does watashi mean? Watashi means I. Watashi means I. Now, gakusei means student. So you can probably guess what this sentence means. Des, in this context, means a. So, like we said from the past slide, particle wa indicates subjects coming after them or familiar. So, what's the word that's coming after wa? Or like coming after the particle wa? It's watashi. They're chasing wa out. They're chasing this character out. So, it's basically just referring to this part of the sentence. Wa is referring to this part of the sentence. It doesn't specifically have to be a word, just this part of the sentence. So, watashi wa gakusei desu means I am a student. Where wa is am in this student in this sentence. Now, let's go back. Ano gakusei wa baka desu. Now, let's tackle this part of the sentence first. We'll do this later. It's very easy. Now, as we've learned from up here, gakusei means student. Now, what does baka mean? It's not cow. In Japanese, baka means stupid. Now, as we said before, wa is referring to the part of the sentence before it. So it's referring to a student. So here, In this sentence, it's saying this student is stupid. This student is stupid. Or that student is stupid. Here, this um is basically working as an is. So in here, it's working as an a. In this one, it's working as an is. Gakusei wa baka desu. Now, what is this ano here? What's this doing here? Ano is just an expression like we said before. Ano is like something like that. So that student is stupid, or ano gakusei wa baka desu. That student is stupid. Now, what's the difference between number 1 and number 2? Now, people may think that wa basically means me or referring to myself, but that's not entirely the case. You can always assume that wa is referring to me when I'm talking to myself, or like there's something else there. But no, that not really. It's just referring to the words before I said wa. So here I did say ana no. I said watashi. So I'm referring to myself, but in this case, in number 2, I'm not referring to myself. I'm referring to a student. And that student doesn't necessarily mean that it's me, because I didn't even say watashi or I. So let's check if we're correct. That student is stupid. Correct. Now let's go to number 3. We're gonna keep our notes here. So, anata wa omoshiroi desu. Anata, like we've learned before, means you. And wa, again, refers to what's chasing after it. So, who's chasing after it? You. You're chasing after wa. Omoshiroi. Now, what does omoshiroi mean? It means interesting. Now, we're back to des. What is des doing here? You can probably guess what des means now. So, it means are, or it's serving as are. So in the sentence, it's saying that you, wa is directing it to you, so you are interesting. Easy sentence. You are interesting. Now, let's go to particle ga. I just added particle ga here because it's similar or connected to particle wa, but we haven't necessarily used it yet. So my apologies if I just added more to your brains. So now, what's the difference between wa and ga? Particle ga emphasizes connection or focus. In wa, we can see that there is connection, but not direct connection. Particle ga is direct connection. So in here, we're gonna go tackle number 1 first. Nani ga tabetai? Now, we're gonna learn 2 things here in tabetai. So we'll do this first. Nani means what? And ga is just serving as a connection. It's connecting these 2 words. Now, what does tabetai mean? Now, tabemono. What does tabemono mean? Tabemono means food. Now, in this part of this word or sentence, tai Tai means going to. So you can probably guess what this means now. What food are you going to eat? What food are you going to eat? Let's clean this up. Again, tabemono means food. So, and Tai is saying to eat. So, what are you going to eat? Or what food is it that you want to eat? Now, we'll go to number 2. It's very simple. Sushi ga suki desu. Just a free tip, you don't have to say suki. You can just say ski. They will also understand. You don't have to pronounce everything in Japanese words. You should listen to how native speakers uh, pronounce them to know which parts can you skip, which parts you can. Sushi ga suki desu. What is sushi? It's a food. What kind of food? Fish, I think. Sushi. Ga is connecting sushi and suki. Ski desu. Now what is ski? It means like. In and des. What's des doing here? Before it is, are, and this is. Stuff like that. So in here it's serving as is or it is. So here in the sentence it's just basically saying I like sushi. So I like sushi. Or it is sushi that I like. Why is it I? There's no watashi. Like I said earlier, you don't necessarily have to say watashi every time you say a sentence. You just have to say, like, for example, I'm just going to say something that I like. I don't have to always say watashi because I'm already the one speaking it. So sushi ga suki desu. This is usually what you say when you're asked a question about things you like. So let's go check. What is it that you want to eat? What going to eat? So we're correct there, and I like sushi. It is sushi that I like. Now, we're back to the question that this mysterious person was asking us since earlier. Onamai wa nan desu ka? What does it mean again? Namai wa name. What is your name? And this is a honorific sign of respect. What is your name? Wa is redirecting what is to name. What is your name? Because of O. And ka basically marks the sentence as a question. Now, watashi no namae wa something something desu. Like I said earlier, this part of the PPT, the particles turned into red. So I apologize for that. Now, watashi, like we learned, I, and namae, name. In our past lesson, we tackled that no labels something. So name, what is this name? Whose name is it? It's my name. My name. No labels the name. Whose name? My name. Now wa. Again, wa is just redirecting this part of the sentence to here. Redirecting what comes after it to this part. So in my case, my name is Aisel or Ice. sensei, so I'm just going to say Watashi no namae wa Ice desu. That is my name. My name is Ice, or my name is Isa. That's how you introduce yourself. Now, the stranger virus, he said, ah, so desu ka? Ah is an expression. And here you can translate it as to oh. Oh. Now, so desu ka? Here again, question but not necessarily. So desu ka? Oh. Is that so? Oh, is that so? Or it can just be, oh, that's so. You just have to translate these two, and you get the meaning. It can also be, oh, is that right? Next. Watashi no namae wa Tashiro desu. Now, watashi means I, like we've learned before. No labels something after it. So, namae. Namae is name. No is labeling the name. Whose name is it? My name. Now, the wa is again redirecting this part of the sentence to here. Because they're coming after wa. They're coming after it. Now, Tashiro desu. Tashiro desu. It's basically saying, my name is Tashiro. Now, whose name is it? The one we're talking to. Why? Because it's him that's speaking. It's Tashiro. He's the one that's speaking to us now. The stranger we just met today. His name is Tashiro. Hajimemashite. We've learned this before in previous lessons. What does hajimemashite mean? It means nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. This is a greeting when we've just met someone or have learned their name. Now, Japanese words are usually arranged with the main word at the end like English. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Kuroi kaban. Now, you've learned this word before. Kaban. Kaban means bag. Now, what is kuro? Kuro means black. This is a color. Now, what is the E doing here? It's basically turning this word into a modifier. This is a modifier. It's turning the black into an adjective. So this sentence means a black bag. Now, as we said before, are usually arranged with the main words at the end like English. So, what is the main word here? The main word is bag. And what kind of bag is it? It's a black bag. Now, E turns colors to an adjective. Like I said, here kuro turned into an adjective because of E. Now, adjectives. These are all the colors that can be turned into adjectives. You can see there's an E at the very end of their names. The original are aka, ao, shiro, kuro, hiro, and chairo. But we add an E to them, so it's akai, aoi, shiroi, kuroi, hiroi, and chairoi. as you can see from over here, it at the left hand, we have E at the very end of their kanji, so we added them. These are the original names, and then you just added an E. Now, noun only, what does that mean? In noun only, it means that we don't change the word at all. Like we don't add E. We're not going to add E. Murasaki, pinku, orange, and midori. Now, why are we not going to add another E? Like here, this purple's kanji or Murasaki's kanji doesn't have an E. Unlike here in Akai, there's an E here, but here there's none. Why? So if you can remember what we discussed before in long vowels, we have a, we have a, e, and u. These ones we repeat their characters to make their pronunciation longer. But to have o and e have a longer pronunciation, we either have to put u or e. So in this case, the adjectives also follow that rule. So unless they end in either a, unless they end in either o or e, they will not have another e in their name, or can also have I. So Murasaki or already has an e. Pinku already has an u. And orange already has an e. Midori also. That's why they're only nouns. You can use them as is. So you can just say Murasaki kaban. You don't have to add another e because there's already an e in Murasaki. We can also say pinku kaban. We can also if it sounds a bit weird to you, you can also just say Murasaki no kaban or pinku no kaban. Now, let's go back to particle. No possesses labels. Like I said, the particles turn into red. So, that's the last part. Dog, toy, shop. Like we said earlier, in English, similar to Japanese, they have their main word at the very end. But which end? The, the left or the right? In this case, we're talking about a shop. We're talking about a mise. Now, what kind of shop are we talking about? We're talking about a toy shop. Omocha. Change the color for that real quick. Now, what kind of toys? Whose toys are these for? They're for dogs. Inu. Inu no omocha no mise. It's a dog. It's a shop for dog toys. Now you can see that we have particle no in the middle of these. Basically, with particle no, you can stack the particles for words. So you can just add another no here. So let's say, so you can probably add another no here and put a dog breed or something like that. So you can stack particles. But remember, the main word will usually be at the very end. So what is it specifically? A shop. And that shop is for toys, and those toys are for dogs. And that will be all for our journey. Until next time, thank you for watching this recording. Just a quick announcement. We will have an LMS system on motionweb.net. Our MTech website will have an LMS system implemented soon, and I will be posting all Nihongo lessons, resources, notes, and all that stuff in that website once we have figured it out and I've implemented it. So I hope you guys will stay tuned for that. You can also register for an account now so you can have notifications and all that stuff when it comes out. And I will be doing a recording and PPTs for other particles, specifically particle wall. I want to tackle particle wall, and in while tackling that particle, we will also expand our vocabulary or tackle the vocabulary words for lesson 2.1 to 2.3. So I hope you guys at least enjoyed or learned something new here. And that will be all. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next lessons.